Flagwave Studios, a Pat's Rocklight Productions presents Byconan Philosophies and Theories. Warning: some of these theories may not be fact-checked, or may be based on science fiction, unless otherwise posted, so some episodes may contain science and facts and total truths. Some may be made up, so viewer discretion is advised.
Byconan Philosophies and Theories, Season 1, Episode 3, Part 3, A True Democracy. This series may be in several parts.
Welcome to another episode of Byconan Philosophies and Theories. Season 1, Episode 3, Part 3. Okay, we're going to start where we left off. But first I wanted to clarify some things. Obviously I had made some mistakes in my previous episodes. The first episode I said that only one person was selected at random from the district to go on to the city, and then one person was selected at the city to go on to the county. That is wrong. Obviously there's a maximum or minimum of 13 people picked at random from each district. So if a city has 13 districts, then yes, there'll be 13 people for 13 districts. But if they have 13 districts and they go on to the county level, then yes, then only one person would be picked at random from each of the districts to go on to the county level. That was the mistake I made, obviously. The only if a district has, it obviously is going to have a population more than 13 people. You might have 50 people, you might have 1,000 people in your district. I really wouldn't know. So depending on your district, it would be divided into the city control limits. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean the suburbs and anything like that. Those wouldn't be counted as a city. And obviously small towns wouldn't, if you're less than 100 people, unless otherwise decided by the peoples of the districts that were supposed to have been in that city, they can then decide, no, we want to be our own city. In such a case, then that city must have a minimum of 4 districts to control. Okay, so we're going to continue on now. The state. The next level government. Many counties are in a state. One county cannot overthrow the state unless joins with a majority of counties or goes to the next level of government. There are 4 government offices at this level, elected every 4 years and only allowed 2 terms. Every other level before this is only allowed 2 terms as well, just to verify that. Okay, number 1, governor passes decisions at the state level. If cannot, must go to the next level. Number 2, vice governor makes sure that the government listens to the people of the state. Number 3, major general in charge of emergency and militaristic like services, within the state. Number 4, state messenger controls the media within the state and tells next level of government. Tells next level of government what the people want in that state from the next for the next level, Okay. I'll post the diagram right here. The state Diamond Senate. People that have been selected will represent their counties. Again, picked at random. Only 13 people from each one of the counties will be represented for that county, as well as that county's messenger and a diamond guard. There will also be podiums in each one of the jury boxes so that people will have an opportunity to speak to governors, mayors, whatever have you, if they have concerns or anything about, the next level, or if they need to simply convince, other counties that, hey, we need to do this, we need to pass this. That's why the podiums are there, as well as diamond guards are there. Also not to protect the government, but also to protect any citizens from other counties or whatever have you. Okay, yeah, Diamond Senate. People that have been selected will represent their counties. Only ones from the previous Diamond Senate will be chosen. Usually, one person will represent each city or town. Some cases that might not be the case. If you have 13 cities within your town, or 13 cities, within the county, then in such a case, then yes. But, some counties might have, 15 cities. Some counties might have only 4 cities or towns. Some counties might, only have a few cities or towns. In such a case, yeah, you might have 2 represent a city. You might have 3 represent a city. It doesn't really matter because the people are picked at random. So it wouldn't really matter what city they represent because they are there to represent the county, not their city, not their home district. They are there to represent the county. Okay, represent each city, town, or suburb within the county. With a maximum of 20 jurors, that's kind of the maximum. I would put it at 21, to be honest. And the minimum of 13, depending on population. And number of cities, some counties may have less than the 13. So some cities will be represented twice. Okay. In rare cases where there will be more than 20 cities or towns, and so on, within the county must pick the most populated cities, and so on. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. That's actually wrong. If your county has more than 20 cities, that's just an example. If that's such a case, then the county would pick at random. It wouldn't pick the most populated cities. It will just pick whoever was in the previous. Every time it has to be people that was in the previous Diamond Senates. It can't be, Billy Bob that was only in the district senate, or he was just in the district senate and then he was chosen for the city, to be in the city senate. You can't do that. You have to go each level. So, like, for example, Bob was in the district senate and then he goes to the city senate. He was chosen to go to the city senate. Then the next level, which would be the county, would have to pick those people that came from that city. So then they would have to choose, well, let's choose April here, because she's also within that city or town for that district. Sorry, it's a little loud. Wash those. So then she would pick that person, or they would pick that person. Even though Bob was part of one, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. He doesn't have, because April was still, in that city, and, she knew about, the district and everything else. They could still pick April, because she was one of the 13 people from his district. So she gets picked and goes to the next level. Now her and, her and 12 other people will be, are picked to represent, now the city and the county level. But, and, it's her and a bunch of other people. So then, they say, we're going to let's pick George over here. He's been in the previous ones. He's been in the previous ones, so let's pick him. And then it goes on and on. It has to be people that represent those certain areas for each next level. Doesn't necessarily have to be one person, Bob was here, so Bob has to go to the next level, and so on and so forth. No. You can pick Bob to go to the city, or to the city or town, and then you can pick a different person to represent. So if you got 13 districts, you can pick 13 entirely different people if you wanted to represent your city or town in the next level of government. And then those, as long as they know what was going on. And then if those cities go on to the county level, and there's 13, let's say there's 13 cities in a county. Okay, then those 13, or those 13 to 13s will be picked at random, and then it goes to the next level. And then so on and so forth. It ain't going to be, we're going to pick the same guy. We are going to pick the person that was in the previous one. So it ain't going to matter. As long as you know what was going on in the previous Diamond Senates, then you are picked. Okay? This happens at all levels of the Diamond Senate, except for district, of course. Okay, each level tells the level above what they want. But if a state or lower level of government does something that the majority of people do not like, higher governments can overthrow any decision by lower levels because majority of the people as a whole wants it so. If lower government does not comply, it will all be overthrown. That basically means any level of government can be overthrown at any levels. If the people decide that you're not listening to them, they can overthrow you by simply just telling the Diamond Guards to overthrow you. But in such a case, if, the Diamond Guards are like, no, they're not doing their job, then the people do have the right to go to the next level and say, I think there's something up, because the Diamond Guards aren't listening to us at this level, and, the government isn't obviously listening to the people, so we're coming to you now, as the majority of the people, to overthrow this person or this government because they are not doing their job. Then the next level has the authority, always has the authority to overthrow any person in that government. If it's the district leader, they have, obviously city would have control. But if the city does not, if the city or town does not listen, then the people within that city more than likely would join together, and then they would go to the next level if it wouldn't cooperate. And then they would go to the county level. If the county level doesn't overthrow them, obviously they have the authority. They can keep on going up the ladder. They can go all the way up to the national level. And if at that level, finally the government's like, you went through all those steps, and you're here now, and they haven't listened to you, what would happen is that all the levels below the national level would be overthrown. It would not matter. It would not matter, what would happen. All those levels, it wouldn't necessarily mean that, other parts of the nation would be the same. It just means that this part of the nation is, corrupt or whatever have you. So then it would be overthrown on all levels of the government. We hope in this form of democracy, we hope that, it would stop at a certain level before it goes any further. Okay, and then I have another thing here. Alright, let's see. Okay, I'll show another diagram. This is the way it's supposed to work. It goes from the citizens to their Diamond Senate, your local Diamond Senate. If its district government passes at this level, and then citizens selected to participate in Diamond Senate go to the city or town. The laws that need to be passed at the city or town will be passed at this level. If not, citizens will be picked at random, and it will go to the county government. No, this is an example of the overthrown procedures, actually. If the county government decides not passed because it was not passed because corruption or bribes, then they tell the Diamond Guard. Then the Diamond Guard goes back down through the thing, and it decides, what level of government was corrupt or was bribed, and they will go through all the levels of the government. If not such a case, if the county just says somebody lied somewhere, there was corruption somewhere or bribes somewhere along the line, and the Diamond Senate, goes and looks and says, no, no, no. Well, they're the ones that started this inquiry, why would they lie? But, so then they go to the next level of the government, which would be then the state government. And then the state government would be like, well, you checked all the levels of government and you've seen no evidence, no signs of corruption or bribery. And the Diamond Guards would be like, no, we didn't see nothing. Then in case the local government gets overthrown because it did not give the needs of the people, that means the county level gets overthrown because obviously they didn't listen to the people. They just said, oh, there's corruption. There's got to be corruption. Corruption or bribes. And the Diamond Guard, went through all the levels. They went through all the levels of government, all the previous levels of government. And they did not see no corruption, no bribery, no, anything like that. So then they obviously went to the next level. And then that would just made the county overthrown. What the heck? Okay, I realize I'm running out of time almost. Citizens themselves can unite as well to overthrow government. At any level, government office or offices must step down before citizens use force, usually police or military. If still refuse force, then can ask assistance from other states, quadrant cities, or towns, or at the very worst, other nations. If citizens have to use the latter at any point, then the true democracy has failed. And politicians, and Diamond Guard members, as well as military and any or all the associations, should be ashamed of themselves, because this is designed to be for the people, by the people, and shall be replaced with whatever form of government the citizens seem content with, until that government fails as well. If that is the case, then it is not only the politicians or the citizens, but humanity itself. If we cannot better ourselves and go on what we feel is right, instead of going on what is right for me or tells me this is right, this is not true human being. And people who believe must be treated as so for the betterment of our race, the human race. Trying to understand that a little bit better. If we cannot better ourselves and go on to feel what's right instead of going on what's right for me, this just basically refers to people saying they don't have human feelings. They don't obviously they don't take care of the poor. They don't take care of the sick. They don't care about those. So to me, these people are not human beings. If you believe in God, Allah, whatever have you, and your thing says love thy neighbor as thyself, that's part of being a human being. But a lot of people nowadays don't believe in that. They want, they say, no, we want to believe this part of, this, Bible or whatever have you. And to me, that's hypocrisy. That's just, wrong. Because you are not being a true human being by treating each other equally and fair and compassionate, everything. That is the meaning of being human. You are not God's children. You are not whatever. You are human beings. You were evolved this way. You are designed to act compassionate. You are designed to feel a certain way for certain peoples that are in troubles and everything like that. That's basically what I mean. I mean that people who are, against everything humane. And those people will be treated the way they treat others. If you treat others horribly, you shall be treated. If you treat other animals, other species, anything like that worse than yourself, then you are punished the same way you have been punishing those. Okay. We're going to stop right here before I get any further. Together, we can change humankind and improve ourselves. Please, any questions, comments below. Thank you.